Okay, let's have a look at how to make an equation of a line that is parallel to another one. First thing to remember is that when lines are parallel, they have the same gradient. And we take this example, y equals 2x plus 5. That represents a line that has a gradient of 2 and it cuts across the y-axis or the y-intercept at plus 5. Those two things are really important from this equation. Gradient of 2, y-intercept of plus 5. Now I'm going to show you examples of other lines that are parallel to this one. Y equals 2x plus 1, 2x minus 3, and so on. All of those lines represented by those equations are parallel to this one because they all start with y equals 2x. That makes them parallel. The difference is how they finish. This line here finishes with plus 5. All these other ones finish differently, but they are all parallel. So to work out equations, we need to get the equation into that form. And then we can work out how to change the ending, the plus b part. Let's have a look. Here's our steps. If it's not, put the equation into this form, y equals mx plus b. Sub in the values for the points we're given with plus b at the end. Solve to work out what the new plus b is. Write the new equation. And for all this to make sense, we need to have a look at a few examples that are very similar to the textbook questions. So, find the equation of the line that's parallel to y equals 2x plus 2. This is very similar to question 1a from the exercise. Now, the important thing is to remember that now we have a y-intercept of minus 3. So what does that mean? Firstly, it's already in this form, so we don't need to change anything from here. We do not need to sub any values because the y-intercept is the plus b. So when we're told the y-intercept is minus 3, all we need to do is change the plus 2 to a minus 3. And there's our answer. Y equals 2x minus 3 is parallel to y is 2x plus 2. Next one. Very similar to question 1b. Y equals 4x. That has an x-intercept of minus 3. X-intercept this time. Now, the x-intercept is a point where the line crosses the x-axis. And on this example, that's the point. So this line will cross the x-axis here. And these coordinates are negative 3 for x, 0 for y. So what do we do with all this? Firstly, it's already in the form y equals mx plus b, but there's no plus b because it's 0. So that's okay. Sub in the values for the points with plus b at the end. So we're going to put, for y, we put 0. There it is. For x, we put minus 3. So because it's 4x, it's 4 times minus 3, and then the plus b at the end because that's the one we want to find. Now we solve it. Keeping that plus b there, we go, well, 0 equals 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. So 0 equals minus 12 plus b, whatever b is. Now if we add 12 to both sides, we get this. 0 becomes 12, and minus 12 becomes disappeared, and all we're left is 12 equals b. And then all that's left now is to write the equation, the new one. So the line that's parallel to this one is y equals 4x, and our new plus b is plus 12. That's the answer. Example 3, same as 1c. Equation y equals 7 minus x over 3 passes through the point negative 2, 7. Now, a couple of points to remember here. We've got to have the equation in this form, which is not quite. And if we remember that x over 3 is the same as 1/3 x, that will help us a bit. So now we can write the equation like this. So instead of y equals 7 minus x over 3, we can put this. Y equals 7 minus the third x, because it means the same thing. It just helps us to calculate. Now what I'm doing next is to rearrange the 7 and the minus 3x, just swap them around. So the minus 3x is first and the plus 7 is second. So our equation is y equals minus the third x plus 7. Now it's in this form. Okay, sub in the values for the points with plus b at the end. Okay, so for y we put 7. So instead of y equals something, we've got 7 equals something. And x is negative 2. So instead of minus the third x, we've got minus the third times negative 2. And then we put plus b at the end instead of plus 7. So I'll just do that again. From this point here, we sub in the values. So instead of y equals, we put 7 equals. Instead of minus the third x, we put minus the third times negative 2 with the plus b. Now just to show you what I did on the calculator, minus the third times minus 2 is 2/3. So I'll put that in. There we are, that's where the 2/3 comes from. 7 equals 2/3 plus b. Now if we subtract 2/3 from both sides, we get 6 1/3 equals b. And on the calculator it looks like this. Minus the 2/3 from 7 is 19 over 3. That's the same as 6 1/3. Doesn't matter, it's the same. So the new equation is y equals minus 1/3 x, same as here, but instead of plus 7, it's plus 6 1/3. So that's the answer. Last example. 3x minus y equals 9. That passes through the point 6 minus 3. So I've got to put the equation into this form. And it's not really yet. So what I did was, firstly, I put the negative y on the other side by doing plus y. So the minus y goes over here to become plus y. And the 9, I move over this side, becomes a minus 9. So we get this. So 3x stays there, the 9's moved across, become minus 9, and the minus y is moved across the other side, become y. And then all I did was swap them over. Y equals 3x minus 9. So I'll just do that again. So we started here, and to move the y away, I added y to the other side, and to get the 9 over with the x, I subtract 9. So minus y is moved from here to become y there on the other side, and the 9 over this side, I just put minus 9 over here. So now we've got this, and then I just flipped it over to equal y equals 3x minus 9. They are the same. Now we're subbing the values from our point. Here's our point. So instead of y equals 3x minus 9, we've got minus 3 equals. And instead of 3x, we've got 3 times 6, because x is 6. Minus 3 equals 3 times 6 plus b. All right, let's see what the new plus b is. Minus 3, well 6 times 3 is 18. Minus 3 equals 18 plus b. Get rid of the 18 by subtracting 18. We get, well, minus 3 minus 18 is minus 21. Minus 21 equals b. And there's the answer. Y equals 3x. Starts the same way. Y equals 3x. So instead of minus 9, it's minus 21. This here is parallel to that there.